Now, because this is an arborist junk pile here, so even on time-lapse mode, you know how fast this thing is. Throwing into one massive pile and having to sort through species, we're gonna try to use the machine. I'll bring you along. Yes, it'll be an action episode, me splitting. And welcome back, Fire Addict, to another episode of Travis Does Firewood. And today, I need to get this pile out of here. So you saw the other week, whichever, there's a big pile of tree surface wood from Tip Drop dropped in my yard, and I need it out of here because I'm afraid that because fall is here. I don't know about you all, but the coldness is approaching. Spiders are crazy, making their webs. Oddly enough, they're making it inside my home, which my family does not like, but it is what it is. I would like to use an axe. You see an axe, I think, in the distance over there. I would like to do some more axe work, but time is never on my hands. And I just bought this several $1,000 splitter, so I need to use it. When you buy something that's that expensive, kind of like when you buy a boat or when you buy like an RV or a camper for camping, you buy it with anticipation of using it in most cases, right? So like if you buy it, the incentive is to use it versus if you don't have it because you can't afford it or you don't have your own space for it, then you won't use it. But if you buy it, then you use it. Is that the same thing with the wood splitter? Maybe. You can split hairs. Anyway, we're going to try to use the machine. I'll bring you along. Yes, it'll be an action episode, me splitting. Okay, you've seen it before, but just in case you want to make sure that you can see the 1165V in action, but this time we're going to go between Douglas fir and cedar, rock and roll back and forth, see how it does. Now, we got shorty lengths, we got regular lengths for the most part, and we got two different species, right? So what we're going to do is, this is a mixed pile here. I'm going to try to split and throw one side 16 Douglas firs, fir pieces, another spot shorty Douglas fir, and the other side cedar at 16 and cedar shorties. So we're going to have 4 different piles. So I find that to be easier than throwing it into one massive pile and having to sort through species as well as lengths, because I sort and I sell my wood differently based on size and shape as well as species. Now, because this is an arborist junk pile here, we got a mixed bag like I mentioned before. So I think it's worth the time as I'm splitting to split up what I'm splitting versus a massive pile and the one by one literally having to examine the piece of wood, measuring it, and then putting it in the wheelbarrow or the trailer to figure out where it goes. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into some splitting. splitting done for the day. I was getting tired, and I was getting tired because I basically have 4 piles here. Right in this area here where the box trade is are the shorties, the Douglas fir. Next to it is the 16 inchers for Douglas fir. Next to it would be cookies for the cedar, and next to that would be the 16 inchers for cedar. Well, I kept on throwing the wrong species, the wrong size, in different piles. So even though I was not splitting for very long, just the heat, just have slight heat wave today, and I didn't get much sleep last night because my wife was sick and she was coughing all night. So that was time, when it's time to quit, because you don't want to be fatigued to the point where you're going to mistakenly get your hand in the splitter. So I was able to move the splitter one time forward, getting into this pile here. I did make a dent for sure in terms of the pile, but is what it is. So there are only a few pieces that were too long. A piece like right there that would be safe for the champion, so that would be a bonfire wood, and 1 or 2 pieces that had knots that the flip fire could not get through. But that's cool. That's fine. So even on time lapse folks, you know how fast this thing is. So now I got to figure out where to put it all. But I think the first steps first is to make sure that it's all split, and then figure out where to go. So that is the name of the game. Get it all split and stack and pile whatever you need to do. But yeah, Slipfire for the win. Rock and roll, dig it. So that's it for this episode. Thank you for tuning in. And remember, life too short to be a prick, so be kind to one another. Rock and roll is safety cutting. Cheers.